The sun hung low over the countryside, its golden light spilling across a quiet highway. A red sports car roared through the stillness, its engine echoing powerfully. Dust trailed behind, swirling against the serene fields. The car's sleek frame gleamed under the fading sun, its curves reflecting the brilliance of evening. Behind it, a police siren wailed, red and blue lights cutting through the golden hazeer's stark warning of pursuit. The chase was relentless. The police car closed in, its driver calm and focused. A middle-aged officer gripped the wheel, her sharp eyes locked on the target. Her short, neat hair framed a face hardened by discipline, her every move precise. The engine's steady hum mirrored her unwavering resolve. The red car swerved to the side of the road, the chase coming to a sudden halt. As the dust settled, a young woman stepped out, her figure outlined by the golden glow of the evening sun. Her red dress clung to her frame, accentuating her confidence. Long, wavy hair cascaded over her shoulders, catching the breeze as she turned toward the approaching officer. Her steps were measured, her expression a mixture of defiance and vulnerability. The officer exited her vehicle, her uniform crisp and her badge catching the last rays of sunlight. She walked with a steady authority, every movement exuding control. Her gaze, sharp and unrelenting, scanned the young woman from head to toe. The air between them grew heavy, charged with a tension that neither spoke but both felt deeply. Inside the police car, the silence was louder than the siren before it. The young woman sat in the back seat, her playful demeanor barely hiding her nervous energy. Her eyes flicked to the rearview mirror, catching glimpses of the officer's stern reflection. The officer focused ahead, her posture rigid. The confined space amplified the tension, every glance and shift becoming a silent exchange. At the station, the mood shifted. The young woman, now seated across from the officer's desk, exuded a blend of charm and apprehension. Her fingers brushed the edge of the desk as she leaned forward slightly, her confidence softening into something more genuine. The officer, standing by the desk, observed her with the same unwavering intensity. Yet, there was a change's subtle crack in the stoic facade. The room, bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, seemed to mirror this shift, its light softer, more forgiving. As the conversation continued, the tension began to melt away. The young woman's gestures became more open, her expressions more sincere. Across the desk, the officer's rigid stance softened, her gaze lingering just a moment longer than before. The divide between the man of authority and rebellion seemed to blur, replaced by a growing sense of mutual understanding. Standing by the window, the two women were framed by the fading light of day. The young woman turned, her eyes meeting the officer's with a depth that words could never capture. Slowly, she stepped closer, her movements deliberate yet tender. The officer didn't move away. In the quiet of the moment, the world outside seemed to fade into irrelevance. When their lips met, it wasn't rushed or hesitant, it was a connection forged in silence, in tension, in an understanding that defied explanation. Outside the station, the sky blazed in shades of orange and purple. The young woman lightly wrapped an arm around the officer's shoulder as they descended the steps. Their silhouettes moved in harmony against the glowing horizon. What began as a clash of authority and defiance had grown into an unexpected bond they both now treasured. The highway ahead stretched open and endless. Together, they faced the unknown, united by a connection born from the unlikeliest circumstances.